You are getting ready to launch your offer, or if your launches in the past haven't gone the way that you hoped, then this week's Mondays with Alicia episode is going to be for you. So, I am Alicia Robertson. I am a wife, mama, and I'm also a business coach to other coaches and online service providers who are wanting to create and build their service-based business around the life that they desire. So, through my program, the Purpose to Service Academy, I help other coaches and online service providers like you to just create and launch your signature service offer. So, really narrowing down on creating one solid offer for one main audience that solves one main problem. And then also helping you to serve your clients with less stress and more intention. One of the things that I have learned over my past 9 years of entrepreneurship is that it's typically not the launch that stresses people out. It's typically not the onboarding and all of those fun things that are stressing people out. It is the working with clients, taking on those client calls, it's serving those clients, following up with those clients. All of those things that are shifted around working one-on-one or even in a group setting with people is what leads many of us coaches and online service providers to burnout. So that is what I help you to avoid. I help you to simplify your business in the best way possible so that you can run a profitable service-based business around the life that you desire. Hi, Latoya. Happy to have you here. So I have launched a lot of things, y'all, over my past 9 years of entrepreneurship. So I have launched courses, challenges, I have launched one-on-one services, I have launched group programs. If you go way back to the beginning of my journey as an entrepreneur, I launched jewelry and t-shirts and things like that. So over the past 9 years, some launches have been great, absolutely incredible, while others have failed miserably, really, really bad, y'all. But with each of those launches, I have made sure to really document the process and kind of what I did differently in each of those launches so that when I got to another launch or when I got to a point where I was ready to do it over again, I could always go back to my previous launch and see what worked and also what didn't work. And over the past few years, there have been a lot of mistakes that I have made, but 4 of those have really stood out to me the most that were really consistent in the majority of the launches that I have done in the past. So I wanted to talk about that today. I wanted to talk about the 4 launch mistakes that you should be avoiding. So these are mistakes, again, that I have noticed in my own launches over the past 9 years. These are mistakes that I have noticed in the clients and the people that I have worked with over the past few years have made as well. And these are relatively going to sound like small mistakes, but they really do have a big impact on your launch and your launch's success. So I wanted today to talk about just the 4 launch mistakes that you should be avoiding if you are a coach or if you are some type of online service provider. So mistake number 1, you guys, is not planning ahead. So launching is hard. It can be overwhelming. It can be exhausting. It can be stressful. It can make you feel like you're really operating outside of your comfort zone. And the reason why a lot of people don't have successful launches is because they get so overwhelmed to the point where they give up midway through. They get to it and they're like, I've been doing this for 2 days. It's too much. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I don't know what else to say next. I'm done. I don't want to do it. But the key to having a stress-free launch is to plan as much in advance as possible or plan ahead as much as possible. So one of the things that I teach you inside of the Purpose to Service Academy is when we talk about launches, we do add in a 2-month buffer before your actual launch begins or before your cart opens up so that you can spend time planning, getting content written, getting that content scheduled all in advance and also spending enough time nurturing your audience as well. So we spend 2 months just focusing on planning and working towards your launch so that when you are in launch mode, when you are, have your cart open, when you are starting to accept new clients, you don't feel like you're completely overwhelmed with all the things that you have to tackle. And the biggest difference that or the biggest difference between the launches where I've gotten 5 new clients, which, was okay, and the ones where I've gotten like 20 new clients have been because I have planned ahead of time and I had everything scheduled out. I knew what was going to go live when, so that actually during my launch, I wasn't frazzled, I wasn't stressed out, and I could truly focus on me just showing up and answering questions and onboarding new clients. And it really does change your overall energy. If you're going into a launch exhausted, if you're going into a launch already stressed out before it begins, that bad energy, that negative energy really does play out in the results of your launch. So when you can plan it in advance, when you can plan ahead, when you can get all of your emails and social content and your main content platforms really scheduled out in advance, that does make a huge difference on the energy that you bring into your launch. You're more excited, you have more room to think, you have more, space to see, what needs to be shifted in the moment and what doesn't. So if you are not planning ahead with your launch, then you are making a huge mistake, and you're honestly going to be putting a lot more stress on you than you deserve or that you should even, be able to carry. So launch mistake number 2 is that you're not nurturing your audience ahead of time. So I just talked about how in the Purpose to Service Academy, we take those 2 months prior to your launch actually happening to still be in launch mode and using that time to really nurture your audience. So believe it or not, your launch begins way before you start accepting new clients, or way before people can apply, or way before people can actually schedule those sales calls. Those months prior to launching should be spent nurturing your audience, getting them in the right mind frame to be ready to purchase your offer when they're ready, and also getting them to sign up for your wait list. So I love you. I love each and one of you, each and every one of you who are currently watching this, but you are not Beyonce, sis. You are not Beyonce. So many of us, and I'm not Beyonce neither, I'm not saying that I am, but many of us can't drop a new offer just out of the sky with no notice and expect to exceed our expectations. Like, we can't drop our new offer out into the world and like completely break the internet and completely sell out. You may be able to. I can't. I still have to nurture my audience too, and I've been doing this for years. But the months prior to launching, again, should be used to address any potential objections or hesitations that your potential clients may have, to talk about your offer and what they can expect. So getting your offer into their head and getting them excited about it, and get them to show interest early on by signing up for your wait list. So if you're not nurturing your audience, if you're not talking about your offer before it actually happens, if you're not creating content around their objections or any hesitations that may potentially stop them from signing up to work with you, then you are doing yourself and your launch a disservice. So you definitely have to spend some time prior to launching to just nurture your audience. That's why I say launching begins way before you even start collecting people's money, or way before you start hopping on sales calls or accepting applications for your offer. All right, so mistake number 3, and I probably use this example or this mistake literally in everything that I talk about because it can apply to so many pieces of business. But mistake number 3 is you're inconsistent, basically. So sending out one email just saying, hey, I have this new thing available, you should come buy from me. Here are some bullet points of why. Holla at you later. Like, that isn't going to be enough. Even with a good wait list, even with, a fairly, I guess you could say, large audience, people need to be reminded several times that your offer is available, and they also need to be reminded of how your offer is going to benefit them as well. So I've talked to so many coaches and online service providers over the past few years who are so upset and so hurt and so disappointed and so discouraged that their launch didn't go well. And as I start talking to them and start asking them, okay, what did you do? What did you plan out? Like, what did your strategy look like? And they're like, well, I sent out 2 emails and I wrote a blog post. Like, that isn't enough. Like, that isn't going to be enough to consistently remind people like that you're alive, that you're available, that you want to work with them. It's not going to be enough to show people that, you have something incredible to offer and this is how it's going to benefit them. Your audience is very busy, and our attention spans, just as humans, is already so small and so short, which means you need to consistently find ways to remind your audience that your offer is available. That can be through consistent emails. It can be through social media. It can be through doing live video. It can be through your main content platform. So if you're on YouTube or podcasting or blogging, you should be consistent like this all the time. So even outside of a launch, but during your launch is when you specifically need to ramp it up. Take all of these companies, for example, around Black Friday. Your inboxes are literally flooded with emails during like the Black Friday weekend. Honestly, from November to December, your inboxes are probably flooded with sale reminders. And that is because they know that they are in launch mode. This is probably their most profitable time of the year. This is a great opportunity for them to boost their sales, but they also know that they are competing for your attention with other people as well. So your inboxes are probably full on a regular everyday basis. So sending out one email, sending out two emails saying, hey, I'm here, please buy from me. I'm going to help you to do this. And then they never hear from you again. Like, there may be people who really have full intentions of working with you, but you're not consistently reminding them that you have something to offer. You're not consistently reminding them, hey, you didn't book that sales call, or hey, you didn't apply, or hey, you didn't book with me. So make sure that you are really being consistent and ramping it up during your launch time. So one of the great benefits of being inside of my program, the Purpose to Service Academy, is that we give you your launch strategy. So we try to make launching as easy as possible. We give you the strategy, we give you the calendar, we give you the content ideas so that you know exactly what needs to go live and when, you know what to say. So there is no more guessing. There is no more saying that you don't know what to say next. There is no more feeling like you're just repeating yourself. So we legit give you the outline of everything that you need to stay consistent during your launch. And it also can be rinsed and repeated over and over again as you continue to launch. So you want to have a very specific strategy that is going to help you know what to say when, know how to say it, make sure that you are staying consistent so you're not leaving any room for potential clients who really do want to work with you to like fall through the cracks. All right. So mistake number 4 is you're too focused on the features of your offer. So this is where I even get hung up sometimes because the features are sexy. They're a lot more fun to talk about, but not everyone is going to buy solely based on the features. And I will say most people will not buy based solely on the features of your offer. So when I say features, I'm talking about the pretty workbook that you're offering, or how often your clients are going to be able to chat with you, or all of the swipe copy that you're providing, or all of the coaching sessions that they're going to get. Those are features. They are easier to talk about because you can easily list them off. In some cases, you can visually show them. And it's a lot of times we think that those features are what's going to provide the value, and that's what people are going to buy because we're told people want more value. They're going to buy value. So we keep adding in all of these features thinking that we're increasing our value, but that isn't always true. So yes, people do buy because I have pretty workbooks, or I send out a pretty box for those who are in my program. But your audience really wants to know how your offer is going to benefit them and how is it going to change their life in some way. So they want to know more about the overall transformation. What will their life or situation look like after they have finished working with you, or after they have gone through your program, or after they have had that one-on-one session with you? The benefits are really what sells. The features are literally just the icing on the cake that like wraps everything together and makes it look pretty. So again, inside of the academy, we talk you through how to turn your audience's pain points into benefits, so that when you are having these conversations, when you are on your sales calls, when you are creating your sales page, you know how to speak to the transformation that they are looking for. And you're not just listing off how many calls they'll get, or how big the notebook is, or how cute your welcome box is, or, all of those things are important. But when you're selling, when you're trying to get people into your program, the features are not enough. They don't carry enough weight to get people to make a 4-figure or a 5-figure investment. People really want to know, okay, how is this going to change my life? If I currently suck at I don't know, building my website, and I need a professional one, how is working with you as a web designer going to change that current situation, or my current situation? If I am currently struggling with getting more clients and putting a great offer out into the world, how is working with you going to change that situation that I am currently in? So focus more on the benefits versus just the features, because the benefits hold a lot more weight, and it's what people are really going to buy into. All right, so I know I said that I had 4 mistakes that I wanted to share, but I do have a bonus in here as well. And that is, you are making the mistake of not having any FaceTime with your audience. So as a service provider, so as a coach, as a graphic designer, as a wellness coach, as I don't know, a graphic designer, interior designer, whatever type of like service-based business that you're running online, services are a lot more intimate than other types of business models, because your audience is working directly with you in many cases. So one of the biggest mistakes that we make as coaches or service providers is hiding behind our social posts, or hiding behind our blog posts, or not giving our audience the opportunity to really connect with us visually. So like how I'm talking to you right now. So not giving them the opportunity to connect with us visually. And one of the best ways to do that is through video. So this year I committed to showing up here on live every single Monday, when my kiddo isn't home sick. So showing up here live every single Monday, and also putting more effort into like being consistent on YouTube as well, because video really does build trust. People want to see you face to face. They want to know who you are. And when investing in a 4-figure or 5-figure or even more service, your audience wants to know who they are giving their money to. And they want to feel comfortable in giving their money to someone they feel like they almost know personally. Not saying that you have to tell them all your business and deepest, darkest secrets, but me hopping on video here and like being live, being able to interact with you, being able to answer your questions, just putting a face to the brand, that really does build trust. And it makes people feel like, okay, I feel like I know her. She, hops on video, she answers my questions, she I don't know, I can put a face to a name, I know something about her, and it's not just a pretty feed of quotes in blog posts. So people really do want to feel like they know you on some type of level before they are making a large investment into you. And since coaching and offering a service does require you to work with someone in a very intimate setting in most cases, and also require you to typically make a larger investment than you would in maybe a course or ebook or something like that, you really do have to go the extra mile to make sure that people do know who you are. And so if you've been hesitant, with putting your face on camera, with going live, with, hopping on your stories, I promise you it is worth it. I'm not just saying that because I'm doing it right now. I'm telling you that because I spent a lot of time hiding behind blog posts, hiding behind, social media quotes and things like that. And I really stepped back from putting my face out there. And once I really put my face out here and started talking to you guys one-on-one, and, started doing more stories and hopping on video and things like that, that's when I really did begin to see an increase in my business. Because again, people want to know who they're investing in, and no one wants to hop on a one-on-one coaching call and not know who the other person is on the other line. So if you have been hesitant to start doing video and getting into video, I promise you it is completely worth it. All right, you guys. So those are the 5 launch mistakes that you should be avoiding. So launching takes time. It takes focus. Not all launches will go as planned, but if you can commit to just avoiding these mistakes the best way you can, then I promise you that you will begin seeing results each and every time that you begin putting yourself out there. All right, so your next step. So I recently announced that the Purpose of Service Academy, which is my 12-month program, was shifting from a membership community to a 12-month group coaching program. And because of that change and all of the added value that is being introduced into the program, the price will be doubling on next Monday. So if you have been hesitant, if you have been thinking about joining the Purpose of Service Academy, you have exactly 1 week to join the program at the current rate. So if you are a coach or some type of online service provider who is feeling completely overwhelmed with effectively launching your offer, with figuring out how to get consistent clients or serving your clients in a way that won't just lead to stress and a bunch of overwhelm or burnout, then the Purpose of Service Academy is definitely for you. And I would absolutely love to be your coach inside of the program. So to learn more, all you have to do is head over to purposetoservice.co, or you can click the link in my bio to learn more. Again, this is now a 12-month group coaching program where I will be super hands-on with you throughout your process of creating, launching, and also serving your clients through your signature service offer. All right, you guys. So if you're wanting to learn more, again, click the link in my bio. If you have any questions at all, if you're new here, you should know that I do not bite. You can definitely shoot me a DM with any questions that you may have. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. If you have any questions, shoot me a message. I would love to chat with you.